BRIA is the Brooke Roberts Innovation Agency. We work on materials innovations. We're design and technology led, but I personally am from originally a medical background. I was a radiographer in the NHS for nearly 2 decades. So my personal journey is sort of at the crossroads of science and fashion. There are a lot of problems to be solved in the world, and a lot of them are rooted in materials. You know, they range from design, fashion, waste. So we set about trying to design and create materials that will solve some of those problems. So we end up working with people like Dr. Matthew Howard at King's College London. Your stitches, because you have them back to this.
So we're in the Wheatstone Innovation Lab. This is a laboratory space that we've set up at King's for our students. We have currently our artist in residence, Brooke, and she's running a workshop in knitting. So we're very interested in all kinds of making, not only the very high-tech stuff, because we think that having a knowledge of the skills at all levels of making sort of gives a more rounded understanding of how you make things, basically.
We're in our second workshop of 5. We're still focusing on hand knitting techniques, and then throughout the workshops in the coming months we'll then be transferring those techniques onto domestic knitting machines, and then we're going to move on to digital knitting techniques where things get more industrial and where we can start to look at wearables and more complex knit structures.
So try and always centre your knitting. So if you want to do 40 stitches, you do 20 each side of 0.
Now, part of the reason that we're doing workshops here in the Wheatstone Lab is that we also see an educational benefit to it, both from the perspective of giving our students the ability to learn a new skill. The people in here are physicists, mathematicians, chemists and informatics people. So none of them probably thought to themselves, well, I'm going to learn about how to knit in my courses.
The fact that we're able to sit here and explore the craft in this way, on this level, is a great thing. It's sort of therapeutic and fun. We can also take it to a whole other scientific level once we move through to the digital aspects of knitting and then really apply it scientifically. So for me, I think it's an incredibly interesting, fun, but also a powerful craft and tool. It's the first piece of machine knit ever made in the Wheatstone Lab. Alongside of that, we worked in the labs with Matthew and Samuel to create machine-made knitted sensors. So I guess it was twofold. There was a creative and playful element through the workshops, but then we were applying much more of the structured machine knit techniques to the sensors and trying to deliver a specific outcome.
So on the table here you can actually see the prototype sensor that we've developed. This consists of essentially a soft fabric, knitted fabric sensor. Okay. So this is quite a unique way of being able to sense pressure. But I want to tell you something about the context of this work and where we're hoping to take it. We've been looking at whether we can use this kind of technology to create smart footwear. So this actually is a very early attempt to make an insole-shaped sensor that could potentially go into a medical orthotic boot or something similar. So in, for example, the treatment of diabetes, one of the issues that people with diabetes face is the lack of circulation to the foot. So what we hope to do is to be able to measure, for example, where are the particular points on the foot where shoes or other footwear might be applying pressure and causing the circulation to be even worse, and therefore potentially predicting where an ulcer might occur or even an amputation. So we're currently looking to see whether this technology might be feasible for that kind of application.
Personally, I've just found it very inspiring actually. They're very focused on what they're doing. It's very rigorous. And that teaches us something about our practice as well, that if we want to solve problems using design, we need a degree of rigour around that.
Within the project that we've been running with Brooke, we got to explore different ways in which you can use knitting to create substrates, which is something new for us. Usually, within the context of engineering, you don't get access to those kinds of hand skills, which people in the crafts and the arts world work with every day. And most of that knowledge and understanding of how fabrics work is captured in people's fingertips. It's not really captured in textbooks. So that for us, that's the main value of doing these collaborations with artists.
To solve the world's problems, we need to be more creative, we need to be more innovative, and that means drawing on a broader skill set and having conversations beyond what we know within our disciplines. This is where things are going. So our residency, I think, is a key kind of part of that evolution, actually, of professions and of the careers of the future.